7 years, 4 coaches, and a 5-win season that would break most players. But what happened next with Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever might be the greatest turnaround story in WNBA history.
And the timing couldn't be more perfect to tell this story, with Indiana suddenly becoming the hottest ticket in women's basketball.
You know, what's fascinating about Mitchell's journey is how it started in Cincinnati. Not exactly a basketball hotbed like LA or New York. Both her parents were college athletes at Eastern Kentucky, so sports was literally in her DNA.
That family foundation really shaped who she became as a player. Basketball wasn't just a game, it was her safe haven, her identity.
And when she was drafted 2nd overall in 2018, everyone thought she'd be the savior of the Indiana Fever franchise. Instead, she walked into what can only be described as organizational chaos.
Let's put some numbers to that chaos. In her first 5 seasons, the Fever won just 28% of their games. That's brutal for any player, let alone someone with Mitchell's talent.
But here's what makes her story so remarkable. Through all those losses, through 4 different head coaches implementing 4 different systems, Mitchell kept putting up numbers. We're talking consistent 16-plus points per game, year after year.
Though I have to imagine there were moments when she questioned everything. I mean, how could you not?
Oh, absolutely. And she's been incredibly honest about those struggles.
I was in survival mode when I put my back against the wall, and so what everybody see now is just I've always been a fighter. You know, I've always kind of had to compete and find a different way to, you know, I always got my back dirty.
Man,
there was never a time
like
where
that.
Hey, that's a good one.
I like that.
I always got my back dirty. Hold on, let me put that in my pocket.
I like that.
I always got my back dirty. Hold on, poke that. I always got my back dirty. I've always had to, and you can kind of relate because, you know, you've had to go to different places and, you know, get a spot. For me, it was about keeping my name at least, or my game relevant to, you know, enough to have value. And I think, you know, it was hard to find that people that believed in that, and that's why I miss my dad so much now, because he was the only person that reminded me what that worth was like. And so he was aggressive and hard on me, but it came in a position of now I don't need nobody to tell me. I don't want nobody, because when I needed saving, nobody saved me.
She talked about being in survival mode, just trying to keep her name relevant in the league. But check this out. Her shooting percentages actually improved every single year.
That's what elite athletes do, though, right? They find ways to get better even when everything around them is falling apart.
Speaking of falling apart, let's talk about 2024, because that's when this story takes its most dramatic turn. Mitchell loses her father, her OG best friend, as she called him, right before the season starts.
Trials and tribulations, you gotta appreciate it. So now I look at the second one, how it happened. You could have never told me it was gonna happen this way. That you go through certain things, you know, it hit home, a part of your heart's, you know, broken, and you look back on it. Some of the hours that I put in the gym, I couldn't even calculate them because I felt so much pain and trauma. Like I felt so much pain. Like I felt so much like I worried about my mom. I worried about how she feel now that she didn't have a significant other. I worried about my siblings. My brother was overseas. My sister was trying to figure out life outside of her 9-to-5 job, what she wanted to do, and she had got into coaching and relied on my dad for some stuff. And so we all had a piece ripped from us, and we didn't know how it was going to look. And so the second All-Star was just literally, I just think it was, you know, it was for one my dad, but it was God.
That must have been devastating. How do you even begin to process that kind of loss while trying to perform at the highest level?
Well, she almost didn't. Mitchell seriously considered stepping away from basketball entirely. She was worried about her mom, her siblings. Everyone was affected by this loss.
But something changed, didn't it? Because 2024 ended up being her best season yet.
That's where this story gets really interesting. The Fever locker room basically became her second family. And then there's the Caitlin Clark factor. The most hyped rookie in WNBA history arrives, and instead of creating tension,
it created magic. They both averaged exactly 19.2 points per game. What are the odds of that?
And Mitchell's shooting percentages? Through the roof. We're talking 46.8% from the field, 40.2% from three, career bests across the board.
The whole dynamic of the team changed. Suddenly, the Fever weren't just competitive. They were must-see TV.
Mitchell actually called Indiana the new Hollywood because everyone wants courtside seats now. But here's what's really wild. The Fever doubled their win total from the previous year.
And finally made the playoffs. First time since 2016, right?
First time in Mitchell's entire WNBA career. 7 years of waiting, watching, grinding, and it finally paid off.
The way she talks about Clark is really interesting too. There's no ego there, just genuine excitement about playing together.
And that excitement translated into a Supermax deal, $250,000 for the 2025 season. But you know what's fascinating? When she talks about staying with the Fever, she barely mentions the money.
You and E both been here for a number of years, right?
Yeah.
Y'all done been through the tough years. Well, you really got to grind it out. You know,
What
tough
is it?
season.
What, you had 7 years here?
All 7.
All 7. You ain't never been to another team.
Girl.
7 years and how many years?
Right. She keeps talking about being a Fever girl again, about building something special with this group.
The transformation of both Mitchell and the Fever organization is really something to behold, from those 5-win seasons to becoming legitimate championship contenders.
And through therapy, through leaning on her teammates, through finding new purpose in mentoring younger players, Mitchell didn't just survive, she evolved.
You know what's really powerful about this story? It's not just about basketball. It's about resilience, about community, about finding light in the darkest moments.
And about loyalty paying off. In an era where players switch teams constantly, Mitchell stuck it out through the tough times.
Looking ahead to 2025, the expectations are higher than ever. But for the first time in her career, Mitchell isn't carrying that burden alone.
The pressure's different when you're actually expected to win, isn't it?
That's what makes this next chapter so fascinating. Mitchell's been through the fire, she's seen the bottom, and now she's leading a team that could legitimately compete for a championship.
And she's doing it in Indiana, the only professional home she's ever known.
Sometimes the best stories are the ones where loyalty and perseverance finally pay off. This is definitely one of those stories.
Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more content like this. You can download Kaden Clark and Fever songs free using the link in description by clicking more. Until next time, keep ballin'.
Every single battle bouncing at the right. Now we never met, but now we're flying. We were just kids with a dream, yeah. Took the shots when no one believed, yeah. Hours in the gym, late nights, no sleep. Now the whole world's watching us take the lead. Kelsey's got that fire, fearless in the storm. Caitlin sees the future before it's even formed. Dimes on a string, step back so clean. Now we're taking over, living out the dream. Lights shine bright, pressure in the air. Game on the line, we don't even care. Step back 3, let it fly, feel the rush. One more shot, yeah, we live for the clutch. Splash sisters rise, let it rain, let it pour. Logo 3s, we ain't missing no more. From the shadows to the stars, now we own the fight. Every game, every night, we ignite. Splash sisters running, breaking all the rules. Turning every doubter into fuel. Game by game, we're making history. Catch the wave, ain't no mystery. Swish. Told them watch out, yeah, we're just getting started. Running this league, yeah, we move cold-hearted. Step up, they freeze, no chance in sight. 2 legends in the making, taking flight. Kelsey in the clutch, ice runs deep. Caitlin with the handles, making them weak. Call it telepathy, chemistry, so real. Pick your poison, we control the field. Fever is rising, city's on fire. Ball in our hands, we take it higher. One quick move, let the game unfold. Now they all know we're breaking the mold. Splash sisters rise, let it rain, let it pour. Logo 3s, we ain't missing no more. From the shadows to the stars, now we own the fight. Every game, every night, we ignite. Splash sisters running, breaking all the rules. Turning every doubter into fuel. mystery. Swish. Oh, we here now, we shining. We took the shots they said we'd miss. We fought the fights they wouldn't risk. Now the league is ours to take. Every play, another break. They can double team, they can try, but we're still gonna touch the sky. History's ours, now we claim the crown. Splash Sisters, ain't no backing down. Splash Sisters rise, let it rain, let it pour. Logo threes, we ain't missing no more. From the shadows to the stars, now we own the fight. Every game, every night, we ignite. Splash